right, my friends, we are back with part 5 of our free-to-play experience here to kind of help and guide you guys through the beginning of the game, getting up to level 80. And yesterday we talked about getting to that Acclaim level 10 as that first kind of roadblock. I think we left off our last part 4 video with we used our pinnacle energy. We were working on getting our Acclaim to level 10. We were able to do that. And then once we ran out of pinnacle energy, we kind of ended the video. So I'll kind of review what I did once I was out of my pinnacle energy. I kind of went around and did some like maintenance stuff, right? So I went and did some front lines. Again, if you don't know what front lines are, there's this little pink icon here that you see. When you click on it, it tells you what front lines is. Went around and did some of that because I had some keys looking for these exotic gun mods, right? I was able to get a couple. Only one of them was useful that we got so far. We'll hold on to the other ones. We did get one that we could use on the auto rifle. So we have one of our auto rifles. At least I thought we did. What did we get? We got one. So we have this one. We could put this on our auto rifle, but it doesn't have the perk upgrade that we're looking for. This is for Glutton. We are not using Glutton on this auto rifle. Even if it were to have Glutton on it, it wouldn't be the end goal, what I'm looking for when it comes to this auto rifle. So I'm not going to put it on my gun and waste materials leveling it up because it would only be used temporarily until I got what I was actually looking for. What I'm actually looking for on this gun is going to be Fire Rush and Time Marches On. Okay. So we didn't get that, but we did get one for our Ning Fei. And it was the magazine mod with Annihilation. We still don't have the gun that we want, but one of our perks we are going to use is going to be Annihilation. So we are safe on putting this on our gun and starting to level it up. As you can see, you need materials to do it. I have the materials to do it, but I'm not going to do it because I don't particularly need to right now in the game. And that's a big thing, you guys. I want you to think about when you're playing this game is don't do stuff just because you can. You need to think ahead when it comes to this game and pace yourself and do stuff that makes sense. There's nothing in the game that I'm going to benefit from leveling this up right now. Because what I'm trying to do, my goals right now, is to get to team level 80, because that's the max for team level. And this is basically just roadblocked by my daily pinnacle energy. So we ran out yesterday and we were stopped. I want to say just shy of 75. I was able to get into 75 by running around, doing public events to upgrade my rank in Jiangxi Metro and the Red Sea Rift. That gave me rank up, which then unlocked the ability for me to do more of these exploration things. So I ranked up once and it gave me crossfire zones. You can see that they're marked off now. So I went around and did those. That gave me a little bit more XP. So I pushed in a little bit. So what else did I do yesterday while I was out of pinnacle energy? Well, I'm trying to get these weapons that I want, right? Auto rifle, an SMG with the rolls that I want. And a bow. So my focus yesterday, after we ran out, was to get an SMG with Annihilation on it because I got this magazine first. And before that, I was using this one that had Surrounded. So my goal is to get Annihilation and Syncopation. But we were able to get one with Annihilation, so we could slap the magazine on there. Once we get one with Annihilation and Syncopation, we'll be set, because these mods, you can put them on any gun of the same name. Okay? They're not stuck to the gun. These mods can be equipped to any Del 5 Kulfi. So I did that. What else did I do? Is I went into the realm of the 9 because I was able to get some more power on my wolf by upgrading his artifacts a little bit. And I went through and did the Expanse as far as I could go. So I got up to stage 20, which is the boss fight. The power that I'm at, just I couldn't kill him in the time that's allotted on that stage. So we just saved it, came out, and we're going to go back in once we gain just a little bit more power. Just need a little bit more power on Wolf, then we can go in and clean that up, finish that out, and get our rewards. But going through here, we were able to get more fruits, which allowed us to power up a little bit more in our artifact gilding. Outside of that, I did strikes and blitzes, farming those parameters to then synth those weapons to try and get those rolls that I was looking for. In doing so, I did hit what I like to call the 1%, and that is getting an exotic weapon to drop when you're not using Pinnacle Energy. You're just getting the basic rewards because the drop rate is 1. And we ended up getting an heir apparent. So we got that. That helps with our acclaim because every gun you get that you have not got before gives you acclaim points. So now that we're into our day 8 of our free-to-play account, what are we going to do? First things first, we've got our Team XP now because we have our Pinnacle Energy. We can go do that. So we have 120 Pinnacle Energy. That's 6 activities at 20 Pinnacle Energy a piece, right? And we know that Pinnacle Energy gives us 2K per 20. So I get to do 6 things. So I'm going to get 12K XP today, minimum. So what's that looking like? Well, we need a little bit over 5K to hit 76. Once we hit 76, we can do our relic to level 16. 77 takes another 7,500. So between the two here, we need, we'll just say 5 and somewhere around 12. So we may hit this with some other stuff we can pick up in some change. But if we hit 77, that's going to be pretty much where we're done for because these go up. So we're only able to gain like a couple levels a day. So we're most likely going to hit team level 77. So our goal is to reach 76 to unlock our relic. We also get a couple other things it said there. But the main thing is going to be this, which allows us to power this up some more. So we're going to gain more power here. That's going to help us go back and clear that expanse. It's also going to help us advance our claim some more because if you look, we need to get 3 silver medals for our next roadblock, which is going to be at the level 14 tier up requirement is 3 silver medals. So this is what we're working towards. We got to upgrade Wolf's power. We got to upgrade his relic power. And we got to do that with our 3 characters. So we're going to be doing that with Rossi as well and Ning. So we got a lot of work to do here. So this is where we kind of slow down in our progression because we're only going to be able to do so much per day with the amount of energy that we have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to think about what should I go do? What do I need, right? So I know to level up this relic, I'm going to need some materials. I'm going to need feathers. I have a good amount of these, so I should be good there. So now I need to think about what do I'm going to need to do in the future with these characters. Well, I know we're going to have to gild this, right? The end goal is to finish this out. So we're going to need more fruits as well. So I think our plan of attack today should be, again, to go back into Singularity Chaos and start stocking up on some more fruits, because we got 3 characters we got to spend these fruits on. So we're going to need a lot of them. So we might as well start working on that, because the only other thing we can do to raise our power up, besides doing our relic and our artifacts, is actually raising these up as well and modifying these, which also we get these materials from doing Singularity Chaos. So Singularity Chaos is going to net us a lot of different materials here that we can use to level up. So I'm going to go do some Singularity Chaos runs, and then I'll be back after that, and we'll see where we are with our team level and all that, and upgrading those relic abilities. All right, my friends, so we did our first run, and something that came to my mind to tell you guys about is, some of you may have been wondering, like, when you do Singularity Chaos, you're only getting 1 chest here, but you see I have 2, and I'm going to show you the reason for that. But first, we're going to pull our prizes here. I'm going to use my overclock so that I can double pull and get some fruits here. All right. So when you do Singularity Chaos, what happens is, it's all dependent on your level. And as you increase in Singularity Chaos, you get these choices here. Let me go ahead and pick my buffs, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see how I have 2 different stages, normal stage, and that recommended power is 36,400. And we have heroic stage with recommended power 40,470. So if you're high enough to do it, you should always do the harder one, because that means this is 1 chest on the normal, the heroic is 2. And then later, when we level up even further, it's going to be a choice of master stage, which then gives us 3 chests. So you always want to do the harder difficulty if it's manageable for you. But back to the grind, and we'll be back here shortly. All right, my friends, we're back from our second little set of stages to get to our chest. And I'm just showing you this because I want to show you my pinnacle energy going down so that you see this is exactly what I'm using it for. Again, we're going to double pull. And I'm also showing you this because there's always someone in the comments that wants to find something about a video and nitpick it. So there'd be, if I didn't show you this, someone would be like, well, how do we know you really used your pinnacle energy in there? Kind of deal, right? So I'm just showing it to you so that it's in the video and you can see that this is what I'm actually doing. I'm farming these fruits using my pinnacle energy. We hit team level 76. So that was a goal. So what we can do right now, because we unlocked the ability to upgrade our relics, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down the line here with our characters. We're going to start with Wolf because he is our main focus as a free-to-play character. All right. So I always go down the line and do them each one at a time to bring them up kind of evenly. All right, we're going to keep going. Okay, and we can't go any further because we need to reach Acclaim level 15. All right, so that's going to require us to do some things. Okay, so we're going to have to reevaluate what we need to do, but we know to reach that Acclaim, we have to bring up our power on our 3 characters to, I believe it was 55,000 something. So this may take us a couple days because we just don't have enough materials to raise 3 characters up that much power, you know, in one day. So this is where the progression kind of slows down. But as long as you've been kind of doing like I've been telling you and using your stuff wisely, you're going to do it at about the fastest pace that you can do it. Now, I know we all want to progress as fast as possible, right? But it's just not possible when you don't have the pinnacle energy and you're not using real money to buy the materials that are actually slowing you down. So as a free-to-play player, we just have to take it as it comes and go with it. But we're going to continue our grind here on getting these fruits because we're going to need lots of fruits. We're going to have to guild those artifacts. We're going to have to get them up. So let's go in here and see what we did. So we checked off one part of wolves, right? But we still have to get to that power level. Now what we can do also, though, is, because I'll show you, we're going to have to do this on our other characters as well, right? We got to upgrade Ning's relic power to 14,650, and we got to do Rossi's as well. So let's just go ahead and keep things in order, and let's drop down to our Ning, and now let's do his. So we're going to upgrade him, and our sheaf collection is slowly going down. Now, some of you, depending on when you watch this video, you may say, how did he have so many sheafs as a free-to-play player? Well, that's because when I started this account, there's an event going on that actually gives us sheafs for spinning that wheel. So a lot of the times when you see videos like this, you may be like, well, he must have bought those or something. No, there's an event going on that gives them to us. So we're claiming those through that event. And you also get some through other means in the game as well. Other little events going on that add to it. We can buy them from using our credits and the shifting gates and all that stuff. I've touched on all that in previous videos. All right, so now we're at that same point with him. We raised his power up. Now we can claim that, right? So here we are, we're moving right along. But this is going to be the part that's going to take us a couple of days, is raising the power of these three characters. But we have one more left, right? We got Rossi. So let's see, do we still have enough to do him as well? As we go down the line, our sheaf collection is getting lower. All right, so all three characters are pretty much sitting at the same point in terms of their relics. So now what we have to do, we gotta get the 3 silver, so we gotta complete those things. So raising their power is our next goal, and the way we're gonna go about that is through these things here. A lot of it's gonna come from our relic. You see we're missing a good chunk of change out of our relics. So we're going to be spending a lot of time in Singularity Chaos here, probably the next couple of days, getting fruits and getting those materials so we can upgrade our artifacts. So that's our goal. But so you guys can see kind of where we're going with this. We're just going to go back in and use the rest of our pinnacle energy inside Singularity Chaos and get this stuff that we're going to need. Because I know a lot of you are going to be like, but I don't want to farm Singularity Chaos. You want to go out and farm those exotic weapons and all that stuff. I understand, my friends, but again, it's your game. Do what you want in your playthrough. But this, you have to realize this video was made because a lot of people came into my live streams and whatnot, and we're always asking, how do I progress as a free-to-play player, blah, blah, blah. That's what this video series is. It's showing you the smartest way to go about progressing. You want to get to level 80, then you can start going back through and fine-tuning your character. So that's what this is about. This isn't about collecting everything in the game. If that's your goal, then this video probably doesn't apply to you. This is strictly just a guide showing you how to progress as quick as possible as a free-to-play player. So we're going to head back in, get these runs, and I'll be back. All right, so another round of chests, and this is going to be it because we're going to run out of pinnacle energy here, my friends. This is the last bit. So we're getting those materials so we can upgrade our artifacts. We're getting artifacts in hopes that we get out of overdrives. So unfortunately, I have to do one more run to spend that last 10. So with that being said, we'll be back. You know the drill. All right, my friends, so here we are on our last pull. You can see we have 3 chests. That's because our boss round was upgraded to the master difficulty. Doesn't really matter. Well, it does because we get free chests as well. So we're going to pull our last one. And see, we get our fruits and stuff. And then we can just gain these at basic rewards. So you can see we still get our chance at artifacts here. We also have that small chance of getting exotic ones. So now what do? We're in that same dilemma. We're out of pinnacle energy, right? One thing, as I've touched on in other videos, don't forget about your high value bounties. These give 1200 XP a piece. I already completed one, so that's something we're going to do. We're going to get that so that we raise up our team level some more. What else are we going to do? Well, we just farmed a bunch of fruits. We're going to go do our daily commission on one of the destinations here as well. That's going to give us some progress. Outside of that, what am I going to do? Well, let's start by doing our housekeeping. We should have did this when we first logged in, but that's going through and getting all of our unlocks or rewards so far. So we're claiming a bunch of stuff here because we may have some materials along here, right? Well, we've got this stuff we can buy stuff with. Any mats in here I want. Again, don't buy these draws. You want to focus on the mats first with these points because that's what's going to matter. I don't necessarily need any of this stuff yet. I want this. So once I get enough sub-order seals, I can get that. I'm going to want those fruits. I'm going to want that. So there's nothing in here that I need right this minute. I know I'm going to need these as well because this is for upgrading your gun mods. So I'm not going to spend anything right now because this is going to be of value as well. These are of value. These clusters, fruits, the luminite, the leaves possibly. So I'm not going to get anything right now. I have stuff I could buy some stuff, but I'm not going to. Again, don't use stuff just because you can. Play it smart. Think about it. Do you need it right this second? If not, worry about it later. All right, we're going to keep going through. See what all we get. Ooh, we needed some of those. And we got some Team XP out of that. See? 4,000. Here's our wheel that I was talking about, that event that's going on where you can get leaves and all these materials. So we got that. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to wait till I get one more so I can do the 10 spin because it takes forever to sit here and do one spin. But I see we have more sheaves right here, right? We got that dust that's going to help us upgrade our artifacts. We got our cluster down here. What's going on here? Oh, here's a preview of the new event. We're getting another Morgran's event coming up. So this is a good event. It's going to get us some cores. You get an exotic out of it as well, a random exotic. So make sure you do this when it comes out. We also have this that we can go do. Oh, we're on day 3. What are the rewards for today? Just some little stuff, but we can get 5 sheaths if we do the gold chest as well. So we're not going to do that right now. We'll do that at some point today, though. Anything else down here? Nope. So another thing I did yesterday when I was out of Pinnacle Energy was I went and did Calamity Ops because you don't need Pinnacle Energy to rank up through here. So as you can see, I've made it up to Specialist 1, but the recommended power now is 59,900. My character is not high enough for that, and even though I could go do it, I highly recommend you don't go into Calamity Ops underpowered through matchmaking, because when people are matchmaking, they're trying to get certain scores, and when you go in there underpowered, you're basically nerfing the group. So if you want to do it underleveled, do it with some friends that are willing to help you out. Don't matchmake underpowered, because you're just doing yourself a disservice, because when you're underpowered, your damage that you put out is not very good and you take way more damage. So you become more of a nuisance to the group than help. You're basically getting carried if you are underpowered. But out of that, back to the grind here. So we're working on raising up our characters. So I know one thing I want to do is come in here. Now, I need to be careful here, because these things right here, these next steps on this, take these artifactual clusters, and these things are not easy to come by. So instead of just go ahead and dropping that in here, I'm going to wait. I'm going to do everything else I can to raise my character's power outside of using that. So I want to go back and check what's keeping me from getting this up. Oh, I have to get to 15. All right, to get to 15, I know I have to get those 3 silver medals, which is requiring to level up my characters a little bit. So how can I level up Wolf? Well, I know my smart bomb, I can do this, but I don't have the cores for them. So I know to get those, I'm going to need to farm Legendary Campaign. Now that's 40, 30, and 40, that's 70. That's a lot of farming. So this is what's going to slow you down in your progression again, because every character you should have an exotic weapon on them that you're working on. It's great when two of the characters that you're working on share the same exotic. Ning and Rossi share the crossbow, so that helps me out. So we're going to be at a kind of a standstill getting to this Acclaim 15, my friends, because we have a lot of farming to do. We have to raise our guns up, so we're going to need to increase our mods here. So we're going to need these materials, those astatines, we just talked about those. So we're going to be doing some Morgan's Prey possibly. So tomorrow, we're going to think about what we need to farm next. But a lot of it's going to come down to what we have left. And the way I'm going to do that today is because you can farm this stuff for free without using Pinnacle Energy, is we're going to be spending some time in Chaos getting some more material so that we can do stuff like this. We come in here and we can modify these to raise up. We need this material, which you get from Singularity Chaos, and you get it for free. And you get it from breaking down artifact mods. So you can see we can get him up a little bit here, but this is slow. This is nickel and diamond here. You see how much power we gained? 50 power there. Right, so just keep go through, and you're going to blow through these materials. So you're going to be spending a lot of time in there gaining these materials, deconstructing artifacts to get material back, to then come in here and refractor again and again and again to go up, look, a whole 5 power here. But this is free power. Okay, and this is what you're going to have to do. Because the other thing we got to do is we got to bring those exotics up. So that's going to require a lot of time in Legendary Campaign. This is where the slow grind starts to come in, my friends. You're just going to have to deal with it. And a lot of people, this is where they fall off from the game and they're like, this sucks. This is where you see the whole people that pay money can progress faster because they can buy those exotic infusion cores out of the black market, right? they can buy more pinnacle energy to do more runs and stuff like that. But when you're not using money, this is where we've now hit that slowdown point. So unfortunately, this is just how it is, my friends, and you just have to take it one day at a time. The good thing about it is that this game, you can spend your 120 pinnacle energy in 30 minutes. So you play for an hour a day, and then you put it down and you go do something else. You come back tomorrow and you just keep going. So you kind of just forget about it. But so that's kind of our plan with the game so far. We just got to nickel and dime our power up. And that's what I'm going to be doing. And what we're doing is we got to get this Acclaim to level 15. So again, what we have to do right now, we have to upgrade our wolf. We're almost there. We only need a couple hundred more, like 200 power, not even 110. So through doing those artifacts like I was just doing, raising them up a little bit at a time, we're going to get there, but we're going to have to farm chaos a lot. Without pinnacle energy, we can do it for free, like I said. Who else we got to do? Rossi, same thing. He's got a lot more to go, 5,000. So he's going to need a lot more work into him. Ning's almost there. He only needs 600. So again, it's going to come down to doing our artifacts here. So for Ning, he's 600. We can raise up this mod some more. So if I come down here, do I have materials to do it? I could, but I'm not going to do it because I want to save these materials for my wolf. Because again, this is a series based around leveling up Wolf as our main character. So I'm going to need these on Wolf. So I'm not going to use them to upgrade that because I can pull up these mods some, but eventually we're going to replace those with exotic attachments anyways. So for him, because it's going to benefit him and Rossi, we also need to do the bow. So in terms of hitting this goal of getting the 15, it may be smart for us to upgrade the bow, switch gears off of that grenade launcher on Wolf, because this is going to benefit 2 characters. So we'll probably do that. So we'll probably drop down, farm some legendary campaign over the next couple of days, get enough to get that, because this is 1,000, or this is 400 power. And then we go over here, that's another 400. Another 400, but this is days off, my friends. We can only get 24 of those cores a day outside of those 3 weekly bonuses when we get the 10. So actually come Monday here in a couple days, that's 30 we could pull from that. So we know we'll be able to do that, and then a couple days later we'll be able to do that. We can get 24 in a day, so we'll actually be able to do this tomorrow. We'll be close to that, but come Monday, and then probably in the Tuesday or Wednesday, we should be able to have all that. That's 4, 8, 1,200 power. Big increase there. So that's most likely what we're going to do. We're going to be farming chaos with basic energy, nickel and diamond things here and there. Don't forget your daily bounties. My friends, a little bonus clip. So we ended the video and I said I was going to go farm some artifact mods to get my Ning and my Rossi up. Well, by doing so, we did that with no pinnacle energy. I'm just showing you here that we were able to do it. So here we go. We're claiming this. That gives us our last silver medal. Now we have beaten the gate. We broke past 15. So we're Acclaim level 16 now. And now we will be moving on in our journey. So the end goal, we got to get to 25 because that's what unlocks our 5th upgrade to our weapon mastery. So what I'm referring to there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is here. And like I said, like I've been saying, Wolf is our focus. So our goal is to get this, and this requires us to get to level 25 to further the upgrade. So we're going to have to keep bringing these characters up along the way. So we're going to go ahead and start with Wolf, and we're going to bring him up. We will finish out these here. Those clusters are going quick, my friends. Those are the hard thing to get in the game because you can only really get them from special events and then Calamity Ops, which is, of course, a 2-week event. So it takes 2 weeks to be able to collect your ones from Calamity Ops. And I'll just show you my characters. So kind of what it took. So with Rossi, to get him up to the required power level, I had to upgrade one of his mythic mods all the way. I had to go in and farm some mods. I had to get an exotic mod for him. And then I had to power these up. So you see, that's at 2230, 1990, 235, and 2065. And when I say power them up, we had to do the modify feature here. So you do this, you add materials, you do the refining, and you look for that power increase. So we had to do that to get these up in order to get him where we needed to get him to get those points. So we kind of just used whatever we got. Some of these are okay, but you can see this one has a solar boost on it. That doesn't help Rossi at all. So this was just used for now to get past that part. In the end, we will come back and get different artifacts here that work better for our character, and that's just farming Singularity Chaos. But we did get this one here on basic rewards. Again, like I said, you can farm this with basic rewards. This is something you do when you run out of pinnacle energy for the day, when you're like, what do I do? What do I do? I got nothing to do. You farm Singularity Chaos for those basic rewards. 2.93% chance. But when you have a good build going through here with your character, this goes, your runs go quick. So the farming is not that bad as 2.93% sounds. Yeah, there'll be times where you hit a long little dry spell, but you're eventually going to get one. Just keep at it, my friends, and keep going, and you'll get it. Trust me. It's just RNG. You're battling RNG. And the other thing, like I said, as always, that you can do is do your gauntlet ops, do your blitzes. You can do your onslaughts. You can do all this stuff for basic rewards. 1% chance at those exotics in there. If you're trying to get a mythic weapon still with double mythic perks and you're looking for that combo that you want, I suggest you do Blitz or Strike because you get the 34 parameters for basic on those. And you also get 34% chance to get a weapon drop. So it's a good farm. So just get out there and grind away, my friends. And we'll see you in the next video where we hit the team level 80, right? We're 78 right now. We're almost to 79. We are 6,500 away from 79, and then we'll need another 10K. So we're looking at 17,400. Now, are we going to be able to get that tomorrow? Well, we know we can get 12,000 from our pinnacle and 4,800 from our daily bounties. So that's 16,800. So again, 10,000 plus 6,600. So we may fall a little short there, my boys, unless we pull up some Team XP from something else that comes up. We can do we're gonna rank up in our areas and unlock some more stuff. So you can see fallen drones, we're gonna unlock that as soon as we get 110 more reputation. So we'll be able to get that easy. We'll unlock the fallen drones. That'll give us some more Team XP there. So we're just going to be searching around to see if we can hit that 80, because if we can hit that 80 tomorrow, we get something that works in our favor, and that's going to be legendary campaign, the challenge mode. You see, we do the challenge mode. Oh, actually, did we unlock it now? Let's double check. Let's get out of here. So we're just going to save and exit. It was locked before I got these 3 silver medals. I don't remember what it was locked to. It might have been the Acclaim. We unlocked Grandmaster activities. But let's see. Do we have this now? Challenge mode. Requirements not met. So what do we need? Yeah, we need to hit level 80. Hopefully we can pull that off tomorrow, because we want to be able to do that, because this will reset on Monday. So you see, we only have 1 day and 21 hours to do this. And the reason we want to do that is because challenge mode gives us these things that we need here. Gives us all this stuff. So hopefully we can hit level 80 and go through and hit some of these challenge modes, and we'll be able to borrow characters from our clan mates, and I'll be able to borrow characters, of course, from my main account as well. So anyone on your friends list and in your pack, you're able to borrow characters from. All right, my friends, had to put another clip in here. So as I was out doing my stuff with no pinnacle energy, try to scrape together as much team energy as I can so that we can hit level 80 tomorrow. We were able to pull it off. Before in the video, we talked about it wouldn't be possible because we would fall short. But here's what I did. So I just want to show you. So today was my 8th day logging in, right? And I can prove that to you by going into the events and showing you 14-day sign-on. So in 8 days, this is how far we've leveled up. We've gotten through level 15 Acclaim and whatnot. Tomorrow when we log in will be day 9, and we will hit level 80. So then we will have accomplished another goal. Some of you aren't going to be able to do this in 9 days because you didn't use your pinnacle energy wisely. So hopefully you've been watching this series and kind of seeing how I was using my pinnacle energy when the raid became available. You get those 3 weekly boosted drop rates, which gives you 4,000 Team XP. So we did 3 of those, and only 3 of those. When the Calamity, or not Calamity Ops, the Legendary Campaign became available, we had 3 weekly rewards for that. Again, that was boosted drops, 4,000 XP. So we went and did that to get that. So when you use your pinnacle energy wisely, you can hit level 80 in 9 days of logging in. But in order to do it, not only can you have to use your pinnacle energy wisely, but you have to do these exploration here on Jingshai Metro and the Red Sea Rift. And the way you get these is through getting rep in those areas, through doing your public events, doing front lines, doing your daily commissions, picking, looting the chests that are scattered throughout the area. Every time you reach a certain bit of rank, these little exploration things come available, and they're available to you in each of the locations. You can see Icefield, we're 100%. Aeronautic Campus, 100%. The station, 100%. So when you 100% these areas, that's going to unlock all the exploration stuff. You go around and do that. Those each give you 250 Team XP as well, and there's a ton of them. That's a lot of Team XP. You have to do that if you want to hit level 80 in 9 days. Let's go over and look at Red Sea Rift. I'll show you the same over here. Look, Viridia Forest, 100%. Firebase Minos, 100%. This is what it takes to reach level 80 in 9 days of logging in, using your pinnacle energy correctly, going out, doing your rep in these areas without pinnacle energy, because you don't need pinnacle energy to do it. You just need to do it. So again, just wanted to show you that. In our next video, we'll be showing us hitting that level 80, and then we'll be talking about what we're going to do at that point. And then that will pretty much be the end of our main part of this series for a free-to-play account based around leveling up Wolf, because Wolf is given to you tier 6 as you progress through the Acclaim system up to 25. You come out with a tier 6 Wolf and everything unlocked and being able to max him out. And silly me, forgot to show you exactly where we are in our team level. So you can see we are only a little less than 3,000 away from 79. And then to get to 80, it's only 10,500. We know tomorrow with our 120 pinnacle energy, we get to do 6 activities. That's going to net us 12K team XP. Plus we have our 4 bounties that give us 1,200 XP a piece. That's another 4,800. So we are good. We're going to have over 16,000 team XP available to us tomorrow, and we only need like 13. So yeah. That's going to do it for this one, my friends. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. I'm out of here. Don't forget these high value bounties. Don't forget you can farm those blitzes, those strikes for free. Get those mythic weapon parameters to craft those engrams. Before we get out of here, I forgot, because we weren't able to do these yet. We have a bunch of these. This is from farming. I've crafted these up. But this is what I'm talking about. These mythic parameters. You craft these up to then go work on the rolls of your gun. So like I said, we're still trying to get that roll that we want for our auto rifle for Wolf. So